Previously on Let Me Nostalgia, are you ready to discuss the Peddler? This podcast contains discussions about sensitive topics. And I'm not saying this to sound mean, but who cares?
I quit my job for this.
Let Me Nostalgia podcast.
Hello, welcome back to Let Me Nostalgia. My name is Brady.
And I'm Faith. And welcome to episode 10. This is episode 10.
This is the 10th episode. Oh my goodness. That's wild.
Is that weird? It seems like such a small number, but to me it feels like a big milestone. I'm like, we made it to 10 episodes. We're in the double digits now. That's cool.
Yes. Yeah. So cool. I think for like me personally, it's been kind of incredible, just the consistency, and I credit you to that because I am very prone to being
I have
very
to keep
lax.
your ass in line.
Yeah.
And it's a job in itself outside of this.
I get it. No, it's the truth. So both of us being able to just stay committed to this has been it's been cool. So thank y'all for being a part of it.
Happy double digits of Let Me Nostalgia. Is it
happy digits?
Yeah. Do you say nostalgia or nostalgia? I guess it's spelled. People say it differently, and I feel like I've said it differently.
I say nostalgia.
I think I say it differently every episode. Some episodes I've said nostalgia, and some episodes I say nostalgia.
I think I say nostalgia.
Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna keep switching it up.
Do it.
Let's keep that variety in there.
Do it.
How are you?
Be ambidextrous. That's not the correct definition for that.
That's not. That is not. But nice try. I see where you're going. I see your vision, and I appreciate you. That's
that works.
Yeah. How is your week going?
This honestly, you know what? Sometimes it's good to have a good week, and sometimes it's okay to have a bad week. This has been a bad week. We're turning it around. Like today's been a good day.
Has it?
No, today has actually been a good day. Today's actually been a good day.
You were bitching right before we recorded.
I was.
I just
need not necessarily today, just this week though. Yeah. This week is just I think this week something's in the air, and this week just feels heavy. But it's okay because sometimes you got to go through that. And sometimes you're a dumbass like me and lock your keys in your car after a very long day at work. Thankfully, I was already home, but I was just like, fuck, dude.
Just another
thing.
I've
never done that before.
Another thing, yeah.
Yeah,
And then where was your spare key, Brady?
It was on the keychain.
Yeah.
It was on the keychain because I've never moved it since I got the car whenever I drove it back from Tennessee. So it's fine. It's fine. We got them back. Everything's good now. Yeah. How are you?
I'm doing okay. My week's been pretty good, I guess. Pretty run of the mill, I would say. Yeah. That's about it.
That's good too.
Yeah, I was telling you before we started recording, we have a KitchenAid stand mixer coming tomorrow. My husband got me a KitchenAid stand mixer, and I am so excited for that. And I am going to be a baked goods bitch by this weekend.
As you should. You should.
Yeah.
Use the shit out of it.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to pay more attention to that than I do my children, and I cannot wait. I am so excited.
So we kind of left y'all on a cliffhanger a little bit.
We did.
And honestly, that was all Faith. I didn't even know that was going to be like a thing.
We got your raw reaction to that question.
Yeah,
but
that was purely Faith's ingenious mind.
Well, our editor, my husband, and I had discussed it beforehand, and I was like, I have this idea. Should we do it? And he was like, send it. And so he's so supportive of everything. He's like, do it.
Yes.
And so, yeah, it worked out. Do it. And so it worked out, and we got your raw reaction, and now it is time to, I guess, answer the question of what is the Peddler? and what is our Peddler story, and I think it's so funny because there are very few people in my life actually that know this story. Mm-hmm. And so I'm excited to share it with others, and I'm excited for the people that do know it to hear, I guess, more details about it and hear your details and your version of it too, because I don't even think me and you have talked about it in detail. We've
not in detail.
No, we've just kind of
we've never retold this story before.
No,
together.
we've just kind of like grazed it, be like, yeah, when the Peddler happened, and we just like know what it is, and like our close people that know about it know what it is, but that's it. We've never went in detail. So I'm excited for this.
Yeah. So the Peddler is not what you think it is. It is actually a restaurant. So the Peddler is
it has a
restaurant.
Weird name.
It's funny because it's a nice restaurant. It's a high-end restaurant. Yeah. It's a high-end steakhouse, and they still have, like, it's been a while since I've been, but they still have some of the best prime rib I've ever had. Like, it's so good. The steakhouse itself, the food, the service is amazing.
I've only been there this one time about where we're going to tell you.
You were probably more scarred
and
because
never going back because I feel like my picture is somewhere like in the back room, like a Polaroid being like, do not enter. She is not allowed in this building anymore.
So yeah, essentially,
okay.
How do you want to, I was about to say, you tell your side.
Yeah. So this is I'll give background context, I guess, to lead into how we got to the Peddler and the aftermath of the Peddler, and then how our family really fell apart. Was
this just the iceberg?
Was our family ever together though? Like, was it just always apart and it was just always unraveling? And there were big moments like the Peddler, but so the Peddler is a steakhouse in Gatlinburg. So we went to a weekend Gatlinburg trip because that's kind of what we did pretty often because we lived about an hour and a half away.
We were only like, even at the house we grew up in, we were only like an hour and a half away, give or take with traffic. So
so it was like kind of a vacation spot if we wanted a long weekend to go. And if you've been to Gatlinburg, it is very much it's in the Smoky Mountains, and it's beautiful. It has beautiful mountains, but it has become an extreme tourist attraction. So most of it is filled with more touristy wax museums and Ripley's, believe it or not, and candy shops and and
surprisingly, the Titanic is there.
The Titanic Museum is there. Yes, the Titanic Museum is there. Wonderworks, tons of restaurants. So now it has become, which I don't know. I think, hot take, I don't like it that much. I think it's taking away from its natural beauty, but I know it brings in a lot of revenue and lots of jobs. So there are pros and cons to this, and I understand it. And some things are really cool there. Dollywood is there, which is, we love Dolly. We stand for Dolly.
Yes,
love
we
Dolly.
do. Queen Dolly.
Yeah, she's the best. But so I know that there's positives to it, but it is very touristy. So we went to Gatlinburg one weekend. How old were we? This was after Ryan moved out. So it was just me and you.
Yeah.
And our parents.
I think I was 15.
Yeah,
maybe?
I think I was a teenager.
And I think you were 12.
I think I was 12 or 13.
Yeah, so somewhere around that ballpark.
Yeah, I was old enough to comprehend the gravity of this situation. But so we go to Gatlinburg for the weekend, and we are staying at this it's the middle of summer too. I think it was July, so it's hot as fuck.
It was just a random weekend trip that we made up to Gatlinburg.
Yeah, and so we went, and we stayed at the Christmas Inn, which is this Christmas themed. Do you remember the Christmas Inn?
I forgot about the Christmas Inn. Literally, it is an entire hotel resort dedicated to
Christmas.
Just Christmas
all year round.
All year round, from the lobby, rooms, everything's decorated head to toe.
Christmas.
It's insane.
It's
insane.
It's like a Tudor style. It's like a Tudor style building. It's massive. But but it's called the Christmas Inn or the Christmas Place Inn or Christmas Inn, something like that. But Santa is there even in July. Like they have like Santa coming on the weekends and just like hoing in the middle of the lobby. I don't know. But so we went to the Christmas Inn. We stayed in the Christmas Inn in the middle of July wearing our flip-flops and shorts.
Yeah. Hawaiian shirts and shit.
Yeah. Like. And so was it our first night that we went to the Peddler or we had been there a night? I don't remember that.
I don't know if it was the first. I can't remember. I guess
it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
I mean, yeah.
But we go to the Peddler for dinner one night. And it's a steakhouse. So we go to the Peddler for dinner one night. And Brady, you can take it away from there. I've set the tone, and you can start talking about your experience and what happened once we get to the Peddler.
So
we should do a tally. People keep track and let us know how many times we say the Peddler in this episode, because that would be a funny one. It's a game. Take a shot every time we say the Peddler, and then you're just gonna.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, you're done.
You wouldn't make it to this point.
I know, you're done already. We're like 10 minutes in, and you're fucked. Okay.
Oh Lord, I'm trying to remember. So I remember we had a wait. Mm-hmm. We had like a 1 to 2 hour wait, give or take.
Yeah. But our mom was dedicated to eating at this restaurant.
Insisted. Now, granted, it's a really good restaurant, but no, she's like, no, this is where we're going. So
you think way more highly of it than I do now, but I think it's more of a personal thing. But we'll get to that.
We're about to get into that. So
we'll get into that.
I remember we're waiting around. I was 15, but still undiagnosed ADHD. I'm like looking at the fucking fish tank or something that was in the main like area. So there was that. But most of the time we were just chilling.
I remember we were sitting at a tall table at like close to the bar.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And Mom started ordering drinks. And I forget what she was drinking.
Wine.
I think it was wine. Yeah.
Wine.
So she gets a glass of wine. Dad probably gets like a Corona or something, like, because I think Dad got something.
And also, too, I want to preface that our parents aren't big drinkers, really.
Rarely.
They never were big drinkers. They didn't drink super often, that I remember. They didn't drink super often with us growing up. But prescription pills taken in abundance was very common. So lots of abusing pain pills and stuff like that, especially on our mom's side. And so I think it wasn't even just her, it wasn't the drinking that was an issue. It was mixing, I feel like, the alcohol with the other substances that she was on, like having like very high milligram painkillers at an alarming amount every day. I think fucked her like bad. Okay, continue. Wine.
But no, yeah, so she gets a glass of wine. We're still like waiting for our table. Everything's fine now. She gets to her second glass of wine. That's when she starts to, like you like to say, feel a little froggy. Yeah. I don't remember a whole lot until we got sat down.
Yeah, I think it was just like more, she was starting to get tipsy, if not drunk. And she's just like loud and trying to like make be aggressively nice to people and like make friends with the bartender and make friends with the waitress and pretends like she knows them. She was just loud and obnoxious at this point.
That sounds like me when I drink.
No, you're
every single time.
No, you're enjoyable to be around. Like, it's different, and you're not hopped up on painkillers. Like, it's different, you know.
That's no.
You can at least you can read the room. I feel like you're kind of solid on, even if you are like tipsy or starting to get drunk and like kind of loosey goosey. You can read the room pretty well, whereas our mother could not.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. You're fine.
Yeah.
You're fine. You're perfect the way you are. Don't talk about my friend like that.
Thank you. Anywho, it was after the second glass, she gets another one.
And our father is already like, I don't know about this. Maybe you should slow down.
Because we haven't even sat down at our table yet, so it's only been probably like 30 minutes.
And she doesn't eat throughout the day. Like she doesn't eat. She maybe would eat one meal a day at that point. And so she hadn't eaten all day, and it's dinner time.
Yeah.
And so she's drinking, hopped up on painkillers for no reason, hopped up on prescription medication, and then chugging wine. Like she's just slurping it with a straw. Yeah. Context. I'm just here to give context while you're telling the story.
So after, I think, she gets that third glass of wine.
I think we got seated at this point.
This was around the time we sat down. Mom's hammered. Mom is gone. Mom is lost in the motherfucking sauce. Like, she sits down, starts giggling like it's nobody's business. One of the things that I remember is we walked up to the salad, but I helped her to the salad bar.
Yeah, so this was... No, so first, I think my experience comes before yours. Because me and her went to the bathroom first, and then you guys went to the salad bar because something happened with
Whenever we sat down was whenever y'all went to the restroom.
Yeah,
yes.
So I'll go there because something happened with me and Dad.
Take it over. Yeah. Take it over.
I'll go there. So Mom like wants to go to the bathroom, and our dad's like, go with her. Like, she cannot be left alone. And I'm 13, and Brady's 15, and we're like, okay, we'll be the adults now, it's fine. Yep. And so I go to the bathroom with her, and she's just like bumping into shit, and like it's almost like she's doing it on purpose, you know, like kind of hitting the wall and then laughing that she like bumped a picture.
But also at the same time, like,
but now that I think of like all of the medication she was on, she probably was really fucked up. But it seems like it's almost fake, you know, because it happened so quickly. I think it happened so fast that you're like, she's making some of this up. But we get to the bathroom, and like I'm in the stall and she's in the stall next to me. And you know, most restaurant stalls or public restrooms, there is kind of that weird little opening where you can see each other's feet at the bottom. You know what I mean? You know?
Go on.
You know what I mean?
It's not completely blocked off. Like,
yeah, it's like a wall. It's like a wall.
Just a board.
It's like a wall that comes down to like ankles, you know, and then you can see people's ankles under there. It's weird. That's how public restrooms are, unless you go to Olive Garden and they have full doors, which is kind of cool. But
some of the bougie restaurants do.
You would think the Peddler would, but
you would think.
Whatever. So
anyway, go on.
Yeah, I'm in my stall doing my thing, using the restroom. And then I hear our mother, and she's just like laughing to herself about nothing. And then I feel her like clammy ass hands reaching underneath the stall into my stall. Her hands reaching, and she grabs my foot. Like I'm wearing like sandals, and she like grabs my foot, and she's like, Faith, is that you? And I'm like, yeah. And then she just starts like laughing. She's like, it's me too. And she's just like under there the whole time. And then she's like holding on to my sandal. She like interlocks her finger into my sandal and holds on to it the duration of our restroom break. Like while we are using the bathroom, she's just like holding on to it. And so finally we get out, and then she's like, we're washing our hands, and she just tries to like having a water fight with me. Like it's like worse than wrangling my toddler when they're having a tantrum. Like it's just like, it's so difficult. And so she like has water, and she's like flicking it at me and thinking it's really funny. And I'm like, Mom, let's go sit down. You need food. Like there are other people.
You need water.
Like there are other people in this bathroom, and I am so embarrassed. And then there was like in the bathroom, I just got this memory. They have like this weird tranquil music in that bathroom. And there were like, it was nature noises almost. And so you could hear birds and stuff. And so she was just like freaking the fuck out about these birds. And she was like looking around and stuff. Like she was like paranoid that birds were like up above her head and they're chirping. And she just keeps yelling about the birds coming to get her. And I was like, we need to go sit down because I can't handle you solo anymore. And so then after that experience, we go back to the table, and then you take the second shift.
So we're like, yeah, you need food. You need food. So I walk her up to the salad bar. We're starting to get food. She's still giggling to herself. At this point, I shit you not.
She's having a better time than any of us at this point.
She's having a better time than anyone at the restaurant.
She's having a better time than anyone in Gatlinburg right now.
I help her with her food. We sit down. Was it? Actually, no, I can't remember. Was it at the salad bar or at the table where she started throwing croutons?
It was the salad bar. That was
okay.
That was your
she's
thing.
Still up at this.
I remember there was like throwing. There was an incident with like some older lady. Like I don't know the details of it, but there was like stuff that happened at the salad bar where it was starting to raise red flags to other people in the restaurant.
Yeah, she's literally throwing croutons at people. Like one person she tried, and I think I know the person that you're talking about, the older lady, because she tried to get it stuck in her hair. This is literally like a 6th grader at lunchtime. Like
it's worse. But she is a grown woman at a like fancy restaurant. And
yeah. And so get her to the table, and that's when we started getting glares.
Yes, and that is when anger started happening.
Because dad started noticing it, and dad was kind of like, okay, now we need to chill out.
No,
and it was almost like a switch flipped.
No, do you remember what happened?
I don't remember exactly what happened.
No,
I just remember, I don't remember what caused it. I think it was something like that of what dad said.
I remember. So there was something that caused the anger. So... And okay. I know when I say this, it is going to snap back in your brain and you're like, oh shit, that's what it was. So when you and mom were at the salad bar, dad and I were sitting at the table. We had still not received our food yet. Like our main courses had not shown up. But mom had like a little bit of wine left, like maybe like 2 or 3 good drinks left of wine in her cup. And dad saw it and he was like, she needs, like, I'm cutting her off, she needs to stop. And then
he finished it,
and then he like chugged it. He took the rest of it, and he's not drunk at this point. He's not acting.
Yeah. No, dad has a very high tolerance.
Yeah, he was still normal, like he was acting normal. And so he takes a drink, and I was like, are you sure that's a good idea? He's like, she won't notice it. Like she's so drunk that she's not gonna, we'll just tell her she finished it already, and then we just won't let her order another one, so it'll be fine. And so you guys come back. Do you remember that? That was the straw. That was the straw that broke the camel's back.
That was the gasoline on the fire.
Was him drinking the wine. And so she comes back and you guys sit down, and she's acting normal at first, but until she notices, and then she sees that the glass is empty, and that's when the switch flipped. And she was like,
she's like, where's my wine?
She was like, where is it? And then our father's like, trying to play dumb and kind of gaslight her, and he's like, what are you talking about? And she's like, where's my wine? There was still some left in here. And he was like, no, there wasn't, you finished it. And then she's like, no, there was more in here, I wasn't done. And he was like, no, like you finished it. She was like, did you pour it out? Did you pour it on the ground? And then her voice starts to get raised.
Starts to raise, and she starts literally attacking all 3 of us.
She's like, then it starts, at first it's just yelling at dad. It's like saying he's lying, which technically he kind of was lying.
He was.
He was lying in that instance. But so it was calling him a liar. It was lots of fuck, lots of fuck you, you're an asshole, like you're a fucking liar, like lots of that. And this is getting at a higher volume to not just tables beside us can hear, but tables like adjacent, like
the entire section. So think of like if you're listening to this and you're a server, your entire section can hear this conversation.
Can hear every word of this conversation. Yes. Not just like can hear a voice being raised, but can make out these words because her voice was raised so much. She was yelling. She was yelling at this point.
Yeah.
And so she is yelling at dad, and dad is just trying to like de-escalate. He's like, no, like you didn't have any left. Like it's fine. Let's just get our food. Like let's not do this. And he's just trying to like de-escalate, even though he kind of was the one to escalate it, which is really interesting. And so at this point, I am crying. I am like, I am sitting beside, because you were sitting beside her, right? And then me and Dad were sitting across from you. So I am like crying because I'm so embarrassed, and I'm 13. I don't know what else to do. So I'm just like crying in the corner, and I'm not like sobbing or yelling. Like she is causing way more of a scene than I am.
Yeah.
I was just like,
you're weeping as sheer embarrassment.
Yeah, I'm just like embarrassing. I'm embarrassed, and I'm just like kind of like hanging my head and crying, and I'm just like, Mom, stop! Like, shut up! You were making an ass of yourself, and I just wanted to eat a sirloin. Like,
like, we had already been waiting an hour. Like,
I'm like, I'm fucking hungry. And so I'm crying, and then I remember then she directed her attention at me, and she like snapped to me, and she was like, I remember she made a comment where she's like, of course you're crying, you fucking crybaby. That's all you do. And just like yelling at me for crying. And I was like, you are the one looking like an imbecile in front of everyone at the Peddler, and you are yelling at me for crying because I'm reacting to you being a jackass.
Yep.
And I don't think she yelled at you too much, because you just kind of like...
Because I was there. I was with her when it happened.
I think you disassociated too, so you didn't like...
That I did. I've got my head down, and I'm just like, let's... Get over this in any way possible.
You're like, go to a happy place, go to a happy place. You just
find a happy place, find a happy place, find a happy place.
You're just like closing your eyes, just waiting for it to end. You're like, pinch myself, wake up. But
oh goodness.
Yeah, so at this point she is yelling at me and Dad, and you were just kind of existing beside us, like
I'm listening to it.
Yeah.
But like you're not doing anything.
Yeah, you weren't crying, and you weren't like responding, because you're just like, leave, like let's just leave. Let's get out of here. I don't want to deal with this. And so she just keeps getting heated. And I think, didn't Dad keep his cool for most of it? I feel like Dad stayed as calm as he could have. Like, he never really yelled at her. He was just like, shut the fuck up. Like,
he was like,
he's like,
he's
like, you're being ridiculous. Like, you need to lower your voice. You're yelling. And that just like made it worse. Like, that just made her more mad. Cause
don't tell someone who's pissed off to calm down.
Don't tell someone who's pissed off and also fucking crossfaded on wine and prescription drugs to calm down. Cause it just like, and I think too, she has this thing about lying. Like, if she feels like she's lied to or betrayed, then it's just like the end of her world. And so I think the fact that he not trying to give excuses to her behavior, because it was so outlandish, but I think him lying to her made her more mad than the actual, like, where did the wine go? But I think he was just like, he thought she was so drunk she wouldn't notice. And so at this point, didn't they ask us to leave? Like, we did not get to eat food. Like, they were like, we had salad bar food, but we didn't get to eat a meal there. That's why, like, I don't even think I've ever had their food. You're over here being like, their food's so great. I never got to even try a goddamn meal. I never tried it.
God. Oh, that's true. Yeah, no, we were asked to leave. I want to say just a few minutes after the whole salad bar incident, because it
escalated so fast.
It escalated that to a point, and Dad was just like, "I'll pay for like what we've like had already, and that'll be."
No, I think he paid for everything. I think
he was
paid
like, for like.
He was like, "I'll pay for the whole meal that we ordered. I don't give a shit. I just want us to leave." Like, I think he paid the whole bill.
I thought they asked us to leave.
They did ask us to leave.
Yeah.
But he had to pay.
But we hadn't gotten our food yet.
I know. I think he just paid for it. I think he paid like a lot of money, because he was like, because I think they were literally coming out with our food. Like, it was prepared and they were coming out with it, and they asked us to leave like as they were about to put it on our table. And he just didn't want any more of a ruckus. And so he's like, whatever. He's like, I'll pay $160 for this meal that I didn't get to enjoy. He's like, the wine was good, I guess.
So I hear.
Yeah. And so then they ask us to leave. They tell us we have to. It wasn't even an ask. It was more of like, you guys need to leave. Like, this is becoming out of hand, and it's disturbing other people, and it's disturbing everyone in the restaurant. And that's just making our mother more mad. And so we have to like doesn't our father have to like almost physically kind of like pick her up and like guide her out of the restaurant? It's not like aggressive, but he's just like,
he tries. If I remember correctly, he tries and she like shrugs him off or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
she's like resisting arrest over here, and it's like
yeah,
she's like
and
wiggling
she's
around
out of this like restaurant too.
Yeah, and then where did we go after the restaurant? Because our night was not done.
No.
You would think the night would end after that, but our night was not done.
No, we had tickets to go to Memories Theater, which is a Elvis impersonation show for her.
It is the most like fucking Gatlinburg tour, like the most pigeon forged tourist shit you can think of. And what more can you do to make your night a little bit worse after it's already been such a shit show is go watch a bad Elvis impersonation that you paid like $60 a ticket.
To be fair, he wasn't bad.
I don't remember that one. We have been to the Elvis impersonation many times. And usually, they're okay.
It was one of Mom's favorites.
I don't remember that one because too much was going on already.
Yeah.
So
we get
how
there.
Was Memories?
We had already had tickets. So that was this was, if you remember, this was supposed to be Mom's night.
Every night was Mom's night.
Yeah, but she loved the Peddler and she loved Memories. So we were like planning this whole thing. So we got tickets, everything. Like this was our night. This was what we were going to do. We get there. We go to sit down. She sits down by herself on the adjacent side of the fucking crowd.
Yeah, she like stole someone's seat. That's what I just realized that because we all have, it's labeled assigned seating when you buy your ticket, right? Mm-hmm. Almost like a concert, a show. Now movie theaters have it. Like it is an assigned seat.
Yeah. And she's sulking in the corner.
She literally is sitting by herself with her arms crossed for like, it's like a 2 hour. It's like a good, like, 2 hour show.
It's a long show. Yeah. And that's I was about to say I don't have anything else that I can remember.
You don't remember? I have probably my favorite part of the entire night was after that.
When we got back?
Yeah, so
for the Christmas Inn?
We got the happiest.
How can there be any negative emotions?
How can there be any hostility
in the Christmas Inn?
In Christmas. It's Christmas. Santa.
Santa's right there.
Santa's here. He sees you. He knows when you're good and bad. Mom. He knows
all that.
He knows when you've been naughty. But
that's amazing.
But yeah, so she sulks by herself the entire time we're in Memories. Mm-hmm. And then I think like the car ride from Memories to the Christmas Inn, which was pretty close. It's like a relatively close distance. Like it wasn't that far of a drive, but it was a pretty silent car ride. There was not lots of talking at all because me and you were just like silent at this point because we were like,
yeah, we're already traumatized enough.
Oh yeah,
we just got kicked out of a restaurant that we didn't even get to eat it.
We're so hungry.
We're so hungry.
I think for dinner that night we like got vending machine food. I think like our dad gave us like a bunch of cash and he was like, just go get whatever you want out of the vending machine. He's like, I'm fucking starving. You guys are starving. Your mom is a bitch. Like go get all of the Pop-Tarts and Doritos out of the vending machine. It's on me. But we get back to the Christmas Inn, the second happiest place on earth outside of Disney World.
Right. Yeah.
And so we get to the Christmas Inn and we had like a balcony in our room. And so I remember when I
don't think I remember this. I remember that balcony though.
You're going to remember this. No, so we had a balcony section outside of our room. And I think at this point, like Dad just like went to bed. Like he was just like, he's like, I want to go to sleep. He's like, I want this day to be over. So I'm just going to lay down. And so he just went to bed. And so we go out on the balcony. And our mother is sitting on the balcony in the dark. She did not turn any lights on. It is nighttime. It is very late at night. And she is aggressively writing in a notebook. Like just like going. Do you remember this? She's just going to town on a notebook. And I don't know how you don't remember this. And like we're outside because we were about to go to bed and we just like wanted to check to make sure like she was okay. And we like come out and we're like, what you doing? And she doesn't even look at us. She's like, she's still like pretty drunk too. And she's just aggressively writing in this notebook. She's like, I'm writing down. She's like, I'm writing down everything I hate about your father.
Yeah, literally. Word for word.
And you know, I would give a fucking kidney to see
to get that journal back.
To see what that notebook says, because we never saw it. We never saw what it was.
No.
But she was just like, I'm writing everything down that I hate about your father. God. And then I think we woke up the next day and then pretended like none of that happened. As
we did most things.
And then went on about our vacation.
And such is life.
Yep. So that was the Peddler. We are banned for life, probably.
Maybe.
Our mother probably is. Like I said, they probably have like a picture of her where they're like, "Don't let this woman in,"
because she was literally throwing croutons at people. Shit you not.
She was like cursing at the waiter who was asking her to leave too. Like she was. It wasn't like her anger was just directed at us. Like when she was asked to leave, she was also kind of nasty. It wasn't physical or anything, but she was just her like words were very
at anyone in direction.
Her words were very nasty. So yeah, she's probably fucking banned.
Probably.
Yeah, but that was the Peddler.
Good times.
What a time. It's so crazy to think about because that was
like 15, 16 years ago.
It was 15 years ago. And honestly, it's this sounds ridiculous. So I have a very vivid memory of certain things. Like I remember what I'm wearing certain times. Like there was a time I got in trouble at school in like 3rd grade. And I remember what I was wearing because our teacher made me stand up in front of the classroom and like read something out loud. And I remember my exact outfit because I was so embarrassed. So those like very like, and that's not that big of a deal. But I have very vivid memories of certain things, like what I'm wearing, exactly what was said, what other people are wearing, the weather that day. Stuff like that. And so with this, I remember the feeling that I had sitting in that chair at the Peddler and just crying and feeling so embarrassed and just being like, I just need to get out of here. I need to get past this moment. We need to fucking get out of here.
This
like,
too shall pass.
I'm like,
this too shall pass.
I just remember. I know, literally. I remember just being in my own mind and being like, I just want this to be over. I want this to be over. Like, click my heels 3 times. Like, take me home. And now we are talking about it 15 years later on our podcast.
Look at us now.
It's fucking wild.
I have gotten drunk many times. I have never thrown croutons at people or gotten hostile towards
or gotten kicked out of an establishment.
Or gotten kicked out of an...
Have you been kicked out of an establishment?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I think
not to my knowledge.
I think you would remember that.
I feel like I would have remembered that, and if I couldn't remember that, somebody would tell you. Told me that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you would know that.
I don't think I have.
Besides the Peddler, we haven't been kicked out of anywhere.
But yeah, good times.
Yeah, so that was our Peddler story time.
That needed its own episode. That needed a full, detailed retelling.
Oh yeah, that was a bizarre time.
But that kind of sums up a lot of what we experienced. Not even just like
I was gonna say
it's
no, that
like,
I think that in all honesty, that story is like insane, and I think just the embarrassment of being in public was what was the worst part of that for me personally in that moment. But I feel like honestly that was more of the tame things that we dealt with individually, just because the anger wasn't completely directed at us. It was more directed at our dad, and we were just kind of collateral damage, and we just got like, she would just kind of like spit off insults whenever we would speak, but it wasn't directed at us. When the anger and stuff was, and we were the center of attention, that's when I feel like it was worse for me personally, But Dad took the fall on that one.
Yeah.
Because he drank the wine. Yep.
That was such a wild time. That's such a crazy story. I forgot most of that.
Yeah, I wish I could. I will probably have a dream about it tonight, and be like,
you won't.
I'll just be like in the bathroom with her, like her fucking
again, and she's just wake up, like she's splashing you with water.
I know, like her little vulture fingers in my flip flop just underneath the stall. She's like, "Is that you?" And I'm like, like her voice. I'm like, ah.
God, I'm gonna have a nightmare about that.
I'm like, wake up, don't do this to me. Okay, so that is our Peddler story, and it's fun now. I think it's really funny. It's
funny looking back.
Yeah, it's funny now to think about it.
Yeah.
But we are sorry that we left you on kind of a cliffhanger, but I think it was worth it.
Just a slight one.
I think it was worth it. The Peddler's fun. The Peddler's a fun story.
Peddler's a very, very good story.
And I'm glad that we got to relive it together because, like I said, me and you have not talked about it in too much detail, and there was like some stuff that I'd forgotten. There was some stuff that you had forgotten, and so I think it was fun to bring all that together. So that is our Peddler story, and we
go to the Peddler. It's a good restaurant. If it's still there, I don't even know. It's been a while since I've been back. But if it's still there,
I think it is. Eddie and I looked it up after we recorded the last episode, and it's still kicking.
Hell yeah. Great restaurant.
I'm never going. Just due to like
the wine will do numbers.
Sheer embarrassment. I will not be going back ever. That's why you're like, the food's good. I don't know.
It is. It's really, really good. So that's why I encourage it. Maybe we need to go back together. Maybe that's the way we get over it.
That's a way to heal.
Yes, that's our healing story.
Let us know if you want us to do a meet and greet at the Peddler. Can you imagine that's the place?
No. Oh God. Anywho, thank you so much for checking this out. This was a funny one. This was a dark funny one. Like, you gotta have a dark sense of humor to enjoy this, or it like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people have their own different versions of their Peddler story. So
yeah.
This was ours.
This was our Peddler, and whatever happened to you and your Peddler, I'm sorry. Yeah. That's all I gotta say.
You didn't deserve it.
No.
We didn't deserve it, but here we are.
Here we are.
And then Nettie says trauma builds character, so...
Do they? Is that an Ed and Nettie?
That was in an episode, yeah. I think Double D was talking about trauma about something, or anxiety or something, and Eddie was like, hey, it builds character. And I was like, okay.
I feel like there's so many... We should... Oh,
that would actually be a good episode.
We should have an episode
of
like children cartoons that we watched growing up and things like that.
Yeah.
That would be fun. That'll be on.
That would be fun.
I'll put it in my notes. That'll be a fun one. But yeah, I feel like there's so many like little subliminal messages or adult jokes or humor that even in SpongeBob, like sometimes SpongeBob they say shit
raunchy.
That I will like hear as an adult and I'm like, oh my God, I heard this as a kid.
Yeah. No, there's a lot. I don't even know how we got on that topic, but
yeah, we'll discuss that in a future episode. We got many ideas, but what are you listening to this week? We did not get to do that in our last. We didn't do it in our last episode because I did a little surprise cliffhanger. So, what are you listening to?
I finally listened to the new Architects album. It's heavy. It's pissed. If you just need to listen to something that is pissed off and angry, and listen to this album. It is so damn good. They're actually coming to Dallas this fall with Era, and Era is one of my favorite bands. I'm wanting to go see that. I want to go to that show. What else have I been listening to? I've already started my summer playlist.
It just became spring.
The amount of I told you the amount of time that I put into these. Like I put them in order. I put them in order as if I was making an album. Like, I've already started on the summer one.
I feel like you put more time into your like summer playlist than I put into like my wedding playlist, and like my like I had like a wedding like reception playlist and all that stuff, and I feel like you put more time in your stuff than I did for my wedding.
Who knows? I've been listening to a lot of The Strike. They're a band from California. They honestly, their sound sounds like an 80s movie, like an 80s hit movie. It's vibey, it's groovy. I've been listening to a lot of like EDM stuff, so like Big Wild, a lot of Grizz. I'm going to Grizz's music festival this fall, and I'm super excited about it.
We talked about that because it's the first one they're doing, because I've never heard of it before.
Yep. So that's been cool. Listen to a lot of like Anderson .Paak. I've been really on an Anderson .Paak kick. And then I think my artist of the year this year is going to be Namino. Namino's like
already.
Namino's EP that he just came out with. He's also done a lot of features this year. Like his feature with Elderbrook was just phenomenal. Namino is I have no complaints on anything Namino is putting out, and I think that speaks volumes about an artist.
Okay.
So that is what I'm listening to. What are you listening to?
Mine is definitely not as like detailed as yours, but
well, I'm a music head.
I know. I am too, but
you are. Yeah, you are.
No, I've been listening. I've been on kind of like an older rock kick, which I get.
Ooh.
I get in phases of that. So it's like Motley Crue, some Styx.
Yeah.
Like Van Morrison. Like I'm listening to that kind of shit right now.
I love that.
And then also I found a playlist on Spotify where it's like, it's called something, I'm going to mispronounce it, but you might know it. It's like a certain drink. It's like April. Is that what it's called? April Spritz.
April Spritz.
Yeah.
April Spritz. Or I don't know how to pronounce it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
yes.
It's that. Yes. And that's the name of the playlist. Yeah. And it is almost like, I think the theme song to Austin Powers is on it, and that's a way to describe it. It's kind of like this like weird, like you're cooking dinner like in France and kind of vibes or whatever, but the Austin Powers theme is what comes to mind, because I think that is a song on the playlist. And so I've been listening to that, and also like Bob Seger.
No, honestly, I love that. And honestly, I love listening to like classic rock, especially like if I'm on the lake or if I'm like outside in the summer. I feel like that, for me, that's very nostalgic, is like
it has like
days with classic rock. And
it has like a summer sunny vibe to it. That's like when it's sunny outside, like I'm wearing shorts, I want to listen to that kind of shit. I don't know why.
Same.
But
yeah,
short sunny and Sticks. Yeah.
Short.
Yeah.
Yeah,
let's do it. Okay, well, thank you so much for listening and being here for episode 10, double-digit episode. We're going to keep chugging. We appreciate you guys chugging with us, because it's fun. And
this has been fun.
Thanks for listening to our Peddler story. And
I bet it didn't go how you thought it was going to go.
Yeah, I'm very interested into what the theories were, and what people, when they heard like the word the peddler, they're like, what the fuck is that?
What the fuck is a peddler?
I would love to know what they thought it was, but took a turn. Yeah.
But thank y'all so much for checking this out. Thank you so much for checking this episode out. Make sure to follow our socials in the description. And we will see y'all next time.
We post every Tuesday.
We post every Tuesday.
We will
see y'all next time. My name is Brady.
My name is Faith.
And this is Let Me Nostalgia. And we will talk to you soon.
Let me nostalgia. Whatever.
Either way you pronounce it, that is us. But have a great week. We will talk to y'all soon.
Bye. I'm not saying this to sound mean, but like, who cares?
I quit my job for this.
Let Me Nostalgia podcast.